Man, it's gonna always do this now,
What's going on?
and I can't even be mad at it. It won't let both join through there. One has to join through
We
there, and
got
one has to
janky
join through
ass
something
Craig
else.
in here.
Well, no, Craig is not the problem. Geark is.
Oh, damn! They just
So,
double
Yeah,
standard.
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, when you're a person of faith, you don't have to see everything to believe it.
Yeah, I know because you have faith that it is that way until you go see it and you fucking abandon all faith because you realize that bullshit you were reading is a lie. Like,
That's
Well, I
not,
think
that's not.
part of it is welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Everyday Black Men Podcast, a podcast with authentic black male thoughts. I'm Riker. I'm joined by R. Reed, Armstead, and DJ Almighty. Follow us on Twitter at EVYD Black Men, Instagram Everyday Black Men, and the Everyday Black Men Facebook page. We also have our Patreon. We have all kinds of exclusive content, video reveal coming very, very soon, and it's gonna hit Patreon first and then YouTube second. So if you want to be part of it, you got to join the Patreon. Our website is www.everydayblackmen.com. But getting back to the point that DJ was saying, as you know, this is a companion episode to the other podcast, which we are tentatively calling the Book of Deuteronomy. And part of the reason we're calling it tentatively that is just because those brothers went in a lot on the Book of Deuteronomy. I know some of you may not have listened to that episode
you
because for
need to
whatever reason.
change it to read that. That's his name. Read that.
Every time he said
That's
that,
it.
I was like, "You're talking to me."
Right. I thought he was at first, and I was like, oh, they out here Styles P and Jada kissing right now.
Read,
Like,
brother.
they were stopping and Jada
yeah,
kissing it,
they were
but it
going
was
back.
interesting to hear kind of again worldview. I think that's something that is lost amongst so many people is that they don't have a specific worldview. Even if your worldview is, as you said on the podcast, DJ All Might, you were like, "Hey, I'm agnostic." It means I don't think that there's not a God. I just don't know if the God is your God, that God, or it's another God, or if there are
Right.
even are gods. And we
It's
have to
just
have that level of people being able to discuss ideas because
right.
while
Like,
some
oh, go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. No,
No,
you
no,
good.
no, no. I
It's in
always
correlation with what you're
overtalk you,
saying.
DJ All Might. Go into your
Yeah, but
point.
I am such a very argumentative person. And for recreation, I cut in a lot too. So that's what I'm saying. Go.
No, man, you don't.
Look, we ain't
You're
gonna
I
you're
polite
think
our
that
too
ways.
that's
It's
nice.
well established
2022,
because
man.
You're
We ain't
listen,
gonna
too
over
you're
polite
too
this shit.
nice, nigga. You're too
Y'all
nice.
keep it
I
up. I
edit
swear,
these episodes.
y'all niggas keep it up.
I
I'ma keep on
listen.
going. I
I listen to
purposely
you. Be quiet.
I went into this episode not drinking. Don't make me drink. All right. Anyway,
If
what I'm
you were
saying.
drunk in that episode,
Oh my God, it would have been fun. But I'm a little mad because I'm paying for some bad decisions, not bad decisions, some irresponsible decisions that do say All Might did or Drunk Me did last night, like in the spending of money. But regardless, um,
what did
I'm
you say?
going.
All Might do?
don't
Yeah,
don't. I mean, I got a pair of kicks that cost well over what I usually do, but I've justified it, and I'm not gonna share.
Oh, so the Adapt React 11s?
No, the Miles Morales origin story Jordan retro one.
Shit, nigga.
Yeah. Anyway, so and the Nike plug can get those, so I didn't get those from Nike plug, unfortunately. But what I was getting at was I don't have nothing against anybody's beliefs and nothing like that, but I'm gonna always ask what you think, not what the book is saying, because the fact of the matter is, every God that does not promote free will or critical thinking does not sound like a God that I would necessarily quote. Like if I got to reference something before I can give you a valid response, then it's not going to go well. Even in a court of law, you only got to fucking mention the goddamn law, but you can still paraphrase and summarize it to your own wording. And we weren't, which is where you will always lose me because it doesn't have as much impact.
Part of it is, again, as Reed was saying in the other podcast companion to this one, that, you have to be able to critically think about things. It can't just be you just thinking, okay, well, this is what it says. And sort of for him, that moment of rethinking everything was when he realized that, wait a second, what if the Bible is canon? As in there's a start, there's a middle, there's an end, and it's taken across, hundreds of years. That sort of changed the game for him. For myself, what I wanted to say on that podcast but didn't was that the Suez Canal was built in 1869, but was started in 1859. So I'm adding that in here, which if you didn't listen to the podcast, you won't know why I'm mentioning it. But no, I think they had a great point on how they basically divided Africa because Africa connected to Asia, or Eurasia, we should say, because it's technically the Eastern
Yeah.
European part of Asia. But it's right. Like literally, Europeans came in there and divided it in half and built a man-made canal and flooded it essentially with seawater because they wanted to be able to pass their ships across more easily. And then we can go into sort of some of the other, trade winds that were kind of happening at that time frame and what else was going on. But it's very interesting when you get into that.
I
Um, to
wanted to
not
ask him
spend
about,
too much
like,
time, go
yeah,
ahead.
we can get past that, about the Egyptians, like who we look at them as media today, but who they were in the past. Because a lot of history tells us that the Egyptians are the Sudanese, as we know them to be, versus the people that we see there now. They kicked all those people out of Egypt at that time. However, they also said the Israelites never went back, and the ones that were left would be, I guess, the ones who were Sudanese or the Sudan
Well, I
era.
mean,
Were
I mean, but there's still conflict in Egypt now where they're trying to divide that.
I mean, I ain't
well,
gonna
no,
never
but
get rid of that.
also going back to their point, maybe we need to just roll back in there with some ships, like they were saying. They didn't say what time the ships was coming back to Egypt.
Yeah,
Just
they
come
too
up, just pull
tribal.
up.
Like not, most of the issues won't be fixed because they're tribal.
But
Like it's just
you
not
know,
gonna happen.
most of those cultures over there are. That's why I was like, you got to go look at these people and see how they interact with each other and others, and realize that that book says one thing, but when you get the actual, not based off a true story, fucking story, then you get to look. It changes your perception. I wasn't always agnostic, man. I was
But
raised like the rest
men
of
use words in their favor. Like that's just how it always been. Like
us.
even
I
when you
mean,
talk things that are agnostic, like politicians, like they don't really believe in anything, but they'll tell you whatever to suit their needs. And that's the
yeah,
same way
Very
with
true.
people who
Very
practice
true.
religion. Like
but
you'll run
Well,
yeah,
a
not
lot
just
of
not just even
politician
that.
religion.
I could hear one of our podcast listeners who definitely I know is going to hit me up when she hears that episode as well as this one because she's a I got to finish everything that I start kind of person. She's going to be like, "What about all the times men had decided to rewrite this, that, or the third thing just to suit their benefit?" And it's like,
I didn't.
dang,
You know, it was
I
funny.
can
I didn't
hear
even
her.
want to deep. I didn't want
But
to
he
deep
said
dive in
King
that.
James 1611.
That was the
That's what he
first
went with.
thought that came to mind when they started reading or talking about it and referencing. I was like,
That's
but
why
that's
I asked him what
handwritten.
Bible they were referencing, because that's the Bible that's like before the Catholic Church lit it up and had the
I
American
don't.
You mean
Standard
before the
Bible.
Catholic Church got more Catholic?
Yeah, that's why I said, what Bible are you reading? It's the 1611 one. That's the one that documented back to like
even
a couple thousand years. I can't remember the exact number.
even referencing commandments. I'm like, did man touch it? Yeah, it ain't pure. I'm like, I'm just you're referencing
I mean, even
something.
if we say the first 10 commandments are purely right, DJ, your point is 10 times more effective because it's like, all right, let's say the first 10 commandments are right. Okay, what about all the other things that we have to say as far as laws? Because all these laws were made essentially by Moses and the people who were working with them. We don't know what
Uh-huh,
Buddy Boy decided to slip in there. Maybe we
right.
weren't supposed to not eat pork. It was just one guy couldn't stand the smell of pork and pigs and was like, nah, no pork. I'm pretty sure God said
Yeah,
that.
it's not like it's.
No, it's the way how pork works. Is how pork was kept back then, and how we keep pork now is very, very different. Pigs lived in slop, like a lot of slop. Not saying they don't live in the slop that they live in today, but they literally lived in slop, like super slop back then, versus how they live now. So they
Which is
consider it to be
funny
an impure
because
meat.
they're fine to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and not to
I don't
mention
think they
there's
even
the different
sacrifice
type of
goats. I haven't
boars.
seen a pig
The ones
sacrifice.
that go feral. The ones that go feral don't live in slop.
True, but those are warthogs, and we try to always
It,
give
but
them a
they're the same.
different.
They're the same. That's the same species. Literally, it is a scientific fact. They don't know
Yeah.
what causes it, but if you let a regular farm pig out into the wild, it goes feral and turns into a warthog. Like it's the same species. It's not even a different breed of pig.
Yeah, but it doesn't just live in its slop, man. It starts, like foraging and eating other people and beating people down and
No, I
throwing
mean
them tusks out.
Oh, this whole
when I
time
went
I
to
thought that the goat was the sacrificial animal, not the
Correct.
pig.
Yeah, I ain't
depending
heard
on
no pig.
That's the
depending on the
yeah.
religion, I thought.
That's the first thing I'm gonna say as far as that. And then when it comes to the whole pig thing, from what I was told, I'm not sure it was an Israelite that told me this.
As a Muslim, probably.
It's
Probably
the way that
it may
they.
have been, but what I was told about the pig is that a pig is a very very disgusting animal. Actually, the pig was put on the earth to actually to cleanse the earth of all the
Correct.
dirt, blah blah stuff like that. I can't remember who told me that, but
I
that
got.
I've
It's the
heard
same
that.
thing. Just like when he said Israelites and Christians, I was like, man, they both believe in the God of David, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
I got a close friend that's a Muslim. He's not a preaching, practicing, but he still has some beliefs, and it's basically their filth because they live in their filth. It's something about the religion how they
Correct.
live in the filth that your body's supposed to be pure, clean, and you don't eat a animal that lives in its own filth, even though you eat fish
But
that is a
like,
bottom feeder that lives in.
we don't eat bottle feeder fish. What bottle feeder fish you
Cat,
eat?
Catfish is a bottom feeder fish.
Catfish is a
You're
bottom
not
feeder.
supposed to eat catfish though. You're not supposed to eat catfish.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying these
catfish
same
is a
people
bottom
that don't.
feeder.
It's folks
Same
that
thing
don't
for
eat
shrimp,
pork that eat catfish.
crab.
Shrimp,
You're not supposed
Not
to
shrimp,
eat
all
shrimp either.
crustaceans.
crawfish.
You're not
Yeah,
supposed to eat crawfish
Yeah,
either.
crawdads.
All those stuff biblically, you're not supposed to eat them. Like those things are not supposed to eat. Even
yeah.
like the
You're
milk
supposed
of
to
a
be
cow.
eating good old fashioned dolphin
Oh
milk.
no, don't
Hmm.
bring up milk of a cow. They ain't ready for that shit. That's half of
Oh
That's
my
Africa.
goodness.
That's 3/4 of Africa right there because everybody eats powdered milk.
Let me get three
Yeah.
quarters of some dolphin and I'm good, man.
Man, look, man, them intelligent ass dolphins gonna be like, nah. I seen
Meaty,
DJ All Might what he did to my friend.
meaty, man.
I mean, in fact, people who don't eat pork and go back to pork get sick. So I mean,
That's that's that's
that's always
anything that's grease because it produces a certain grease. Like if you separate from a certain type of grease, you're gonna get sick when you reintroduce it anyway.
The same thing with beef. If you just don't eat
Yeah,
beef for a long time and go back to it, you get sick as hell.
yeah. They say, I mean, but they just say we ain't supposed to be eating it anyway, right? We just do it anyway.
Right.
Oh,
But which is also another weird thing because I don't know if you guys, well, I'm pretty sure you have the eat right for your blood type thing, where if you're a
I've
particular
heard
blood
about it.
type, they recommend that you eat, beef or, particular things. It's like I don't 100%, I don't know how to feel about that.
That's why it is always recommended for all of us to eat pussy.
That is literally what it is. That's
That's
literally
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
That's what
That
it is.
was
That's
in
why.
Leviticus 6:9.
This is exactly
Six
why
nine.
DJ. That's why DJ Khaled looks the way he looks because he refuses to eat pussy. Now he looks like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, man.
That
Everyday
nigga,
black man bringing you them real facts.
he's the only rich person in his circle that was fat, worked out, and still is fat. Look at Rick Ross. Look at Fat Joe. Look at Nori. All them niggas. They was chunky. They worked out.
Yeah,
They eat pussy. They lost weight. DJ Khaled worked out. He don't eat pussy. He's gotten fatter.
yeah. God has definitely let His word be known. But to not turn this into an episode of that, I want to say R.I.P. to Sidney Poitier as well as actor Max Julien. They both passed away this week.
Come on, bro.
I
You
know
missed my wife,
that,
the Golden Girl,
huh?
bro.
You gonna
Golden
leave
Girl.
Betty White out? She
Look,
was
man.
part of
Look,
the. She was on squad. She was
Betty,
squad.
Betty White is enshrined, and everyone knew when she passed away. All right. There's been 17,000 recaps on it. I didn't think I needed to tell niggas R.I.P. to Betty White
I
since we
think it's
already
more
done
for the
said it
shock value. It's the
1,700
shock
times.
value of it, man. Because every year that meme came out when somebody died of the Grim Reaper at a claw
I
machine, and he's like joking that it was a
Oh
Betty
yeah, that's
White.
right. Exactly.
And
Always he
now,
always skipped over Betty White until he didn't.
God
yo, who's
damn it,
the new Betty White now? Like
we ain't no more,
There isn't
man.
one.
It's done. She was a one of a
amongst
kind,
black
bro.
people, man. Tina Turner and what's that other lady,
Nah,
man?
Tina
because
Turner will never be Betty White.
Betty White was literally still relevant in current culture. Like she was
Man,
active still.
acting.
She was making movies still, dog.
Like
Like
she
I'm
I'm
was
old,
sorry,
bro.
Tina
legitimately.
Turner.
Oh,
She was
Morgan
like
Freeman. Morgan Freeman. That's another old nigga. Like nigga, when are you gonna die? He
Oh
been old.
yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Morgan
I think Sam Jackson is older than Morgan Freeman.
He is, and he don't look the same because
Nah,
unlike Sam, that profanity keeps him young. So
Nah,
you
it's
just
the
got to
face
say,
hair.
motherfucker.
He keep his face hair. If his face hair
mo-
wasn't gray, you wouldn't look like that. It's the gray
most
face hair.
people most people don't realize that Morgan Freeman is only 46.
That nigga not 42.
That's
That nigga
that's
was
part of it.
46. That nigga was 46 years ago.
Nah,
Right.
see,
He was
that's
46,
my alternative fact.
46 years
That's my
ago.
alternative fact.
uh,
That's
He's
alternative fact.
but
92.
I don't know how old
Sam
that nigga is.
Sam looks as good as he does because he literally says he does not stress himself out like how actors be complaining about uh going to work and he's like we play we pretend and then we go home. He ain't no manual labor ain't nothing. He's like why the f- I don't give a fuck about all these people bitching and complaining. He's like I go in do my time and I leave. It ain't like I gotta go
No,
out in the field and nothing.
Sam is 11 years younger than Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I thought he was older.
Nope,
I ain't think.
11 years younger.
So
Yeah,
Morgan is what 82,
84. Sam is
84.
73.
Damn.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. These
I just
niggas is old, and we better give them their flowers while they're
ain't
still
Denzel
here.
up there too? Ain't he like in the late 60s?
Denzel is up there, nigga.
You
Denzel
love
is
you love your boy
67
today.
years old.
You love your
He's
boy
what?
67 years old.
God damn. We ain't gonna have
His
shit, man.
son is 37.
The replacements ain't nowhere near. But like Denzel got a respectable replacement, but the rest of them, I'm gonna call his
Yeah,
son his replacement, not Michael B. Jordan.
the thing about it is, like, his
Trash. I'm
son,
talking
he had his
about
son at 37 years old. 37. So that should
I,
let y'all know you can be with a woman as long as you're a great actor
And they ain't
and
his
have a
oldest.
great kid.
He's not the
Ice
oldest.
Cube. Ice Cube's
I
son
know,
is
but
good.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Well, no.
Ice Cube is a good
Nobody's
one.
saying anything bad about Ice Cube's son, unless they're an
Yeah.
idiot.
I'm
But
talking about as an
remember,
actor.
Morgan. I mean, Denzel Washington's wife is older than he is. She's 71.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she's been living that life for a long time.
I know, but you got to think about it, like, especially like when we go into this whole women need to have kids at a certain age, certain kind of thing. You are seeing older black women who paired off, who have kids later, who tend to do well. The problem is a lot of women, you're not pairing off at all, and you expect to be able to have these kids late, and it just don't work out that way. It's both biology as well as your
Tell the
environment.
next generation, don't do it either. Hating
That
ass.
too, that too, that too. But all of this aside, because the Mac was a great film, but I think the more impressive thing that Max
It
Julien
was.
did was the fact that he donated. Well, I mean, look, he started a whole culture thing. Niggas took from it in hip hop. He also was a script writer for Cleopatra Jones and his black exploitation films. While people always like to highlight, oh, the Mac was the beginning of an era where we said black people and da 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 da. Remember, Hollywood crashed in the 1970s. Black exploitations brought them back. So yet again, everything revolves around black culture. Because if it hadn't been for black exploitation films, Hollywood would be dead right now. We wouldn't have streaming things. We'd just have shitty TV shows. But Max Julien donated a lot of his proceeds from his most known role in Goldie, where he played the titular character Goldie, and he donated those proceeds to the Black Panther Party's free lunch program back before your schools had lunches for kids. Stay woke. But Sidney Poitier did a lot for black people. First black man to like get an Oscar. First black person, sorry, to get an Oscar. First black man as well. And a lot of people didn't like him because he didn't talk that much about race. But the thing people always forget is that he was pivotal in the civil rights movement in the
Yeah.
1963. So like literally, he wins an Oscar in '61, and then he does civil rights shit in '63. It's called hey niggas, I got my achievement now. Now I can help y'all out. Because black people always trying to be like, you gotta help us out right now. And it's like, no,
Hell
nigga,
no.
I gotta make this money first, then I can
Nah,
help y'all out.
I wouldn't say shit about you niggas and your issues because, like, most of that shit, man, like, that was like, what's an activist? Like, them activists, I ain't gonna be listening, though. Them niggas ain't nothing but fucking loudmouths. Some of the niggas is really doing the work. Activists ain't nothing but sitting around bitching. Like, I don't give a fuck what an activist says.
Activist to civil rights movement is like a person who identifies as binary to LGBTQ. You don't do nothing. You just say something
Look,
and do the
man,
rest
they
of it.
identify
I'm a
and their
community activist.
identification is helping out. Well, no, community activists oftentimes do a lot more than the main. Like, you need to separate out the people at the ground level, community activists, and the women sitting at like the Black Lives
Uh-oh.
Matter table.
No, this
Those
nigga
are
did it.
those are very different people. Your local community activist, that's someone that you should support. Your grassroots person who's just trying to get change done. Like we saw it during our lifetime, our Reed, Armstead, in Georgia, when it was the local activists who helped push for the magnet program to be expanded. Because you remember, white folks didn't want your gifted black asses coming to their white schools. But it was those local community activists that wouldn't shut the fuck up to Republicans that finally made them go, all right, fine. Only the A niggas can come. We're not taking B
Hey, that
students,
shit me
only
out
the
of
A
that.
ones.
I hold titular anger towards these niggas. Titular anger towards these
Sure.
niggas. Yeah. I was bad as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
And I mean, yeah, that was your problem. Again, you had that
I
B
actually
anger coming out of you.
I actually spent like a good half of my elementary school in the gifted classes and did the magnet programs, but
Yeah,
then
authority. I didn't like authority.
I wasn't even it wasn't even that. I just literally didn't have the support system that you would think to need, and I didn't have the self drive to say I'm gonna do this regardless. Like nah, I was just like oh fuck it, y'all ain't gonna keep up with me. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead
Well,
and
I
fuck
mean,
off.
nigga, your environment is like 60% of your problem. Like I really shudder to
Yeah,
imagine the
yeah.
type of nigga you could have been if you were supported by your local environment.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I had
You
that
might be
conversation.
making, you might be curing cancer right now if you've been
I
supported by your local
Yeah,
environment.
I ain't gonna lie. I had that conversation with my wife all the time. I was like, I really wish I had that fucking that TV or at least that basic ass support system that I envy. I envy both. I envy the bad parents that let their kids do whatever and didn't make them fuck me up like that. But I also envy the niggas that had good family.
Like I said, look, I want to do what I want, but I also would love a family that supports, loves, and cares about me and
Like
pushes
my
me to
family
achieve my
support.
dreams.
I don't want to get it twisted. I don't feel like ain't like I was neglected or nothing like that. I was just raised like every other nigga that was raised in the hood. You just come home with a C and you straight.
So you're saying you're not like Kane Carter, shout out to him, aka Hot Damn I Rock,
Nah, nah.
because he became really good at picking up women, mostly because as a child, his mom would beat him, and not his mom, his family would beat him whenever he got words wrong. So they would turn up the TV and they tell him to spell words, and if he got it wrong, they beat the shit out of him, which
And
then
then
evolved to him having a command over the English language, but didn't of course turn out
I
well for
would
the women in his life.
I would like to see what Reed would have became if he actually gave a fuck.
I mean, nigga, we already know what Reed would have became. He'd be
He would
right
have been.
now talking about how I'm running again for my reelection Senate campaign. I just want y'all to know that the person who was found on that footage having sex with that light skin was not me. That
He
was
would have became
actually
Obama.
my
He just don't want to admit
doppelganger.
it. He don't want to admit it. He would have been Obama.
Hell no.
I mean, I feel like you have a good point that he could have been Obama.
That's why he
But
doesn't like Obama
be
now.
that
He
nigga in
just,
South Carolina that all niggas hate.
look,
Nah, you'd have been Obama. You would have gotten in
Lindsey
on the
Graham.
Democratic thing, and then you would have changed from Democrat to being a centrist independent once you have a big enough cult following like
That's why
Trump.
you don't. That's why you don't like him. He's like, look at that nigga out there trying to beat me.
It's not that I
Exactly.
like him. I think black people overrate him because it's simply because he's black.
What doesn't the black people? What don't they overrate because they're black?
Eminem.
Hey,
Oh man!
I give you
But
that
that
one.
that that was a good one, and that reminds me of the second thing, the
Argument
argument.
talking about Lil Wayne versus Jay Z. But what the
Uh,
fuck?
No, not Lil Wayne versus Jay Z. That's a
Like
stupid
what?
fucking. That's a stupid
that's
fucking
you
conversation.
something that's made that argument unbearable.
Correct. But what I wanted to talk about was the rare moment of clarity in politics when Joe Biden said in his January 6th speech, "You can't love your country only when you win." It's like, yeah, that's true. So are you going to investigate Fauci, or are we just going to continue to pretend like this nigga didn't lie to Congress?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Just saying.
January
If
6th was interesting, right? Or 5th.
I mean, no,
What was
January
it?
6th. It was an interesting little conference. You had Kamala Harris who puffed herself up and said this whole speech. I wouldn't even have watched it if it wasn't
She stepped
for
out and voted.
Cyrus. Yeah. She set up and talked a whole bunch of shit, and it's like, Kamala, I am not going to say that you don't have a chance of becoming president, but I will say that you are going to lose all the black male votes, and God help you if you're going to depend on the white woman.
I don't really care for it either.
Nobody does.
Black women. Black women be standing for that bitch. I
Well,
don't get
no,
it.
no. The problem that Kamala's in right now is an interesting problem that she caused herself, and that problem is she
I
wanted
got my
everybody to think. No. She wanted everybody to think that, hey, I'm going to be this semi-progressive person, and I'm going to get things done. And then when she didn't have the ability to get things done, because I mean, if we're being honest, Joe Biden used her like a tissue. Um, it just kind of all fell apart, and she's just kind of sitting here looking foolish. And it's like, well, Kamala, I don't know what
Kamala
you
never
expect to
semi
do now.
progressive. She pretended to be, but she was never progressive
Well,
based
no,
on
no,
her
I know she
actual
wasn't actually
legislation.
progressive based on her thing, but she said that she was going to be progressive, and then she got caught needing to actually pretend like that was who she was going to be, and now she's got progressives pissed and saying they're not going to vote for her, and then she's got the whole black woman mafia, as I want to call it, who are like, "You need to do more, girl. We don't see you. You didn't even go down to the border. Like we need FaceTime, 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 FaceTime," and it's like, I mean, y'all, what exactly do you want? If she goes out there, she's gonna embarrass herself, so she's not gonna do that. And if she talks about anything progressive, she's gonna kill any chance that she has of becoming president. So, I mean, not that she has a big chance, but a little chance. She got something.
And the
It's
question
a weird
is
place
yourself.
to watch people be like, Kamala did so great on the speech, but then ignore the fact that her numbers are polling worse than goddamn Dick Cheney.
She's a puppet. She's more of a figurehead. She's not really about shit. She'll never be president unless Joe Biden dies.
I mean, I'm thinking that's going to be the only way. You better start putting cyanide. Never mind. I'm just saying. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think y'all realize the
You guys
position
think they
that she
gonna put
picked.
up Pete Buttigieg and he gonna win? I'm like,
No,
bro, wasn't nobody voting. Wasn't no
Well,
nigga
no,
vote for
no.
him.
Pete has a better chance of winning than I think anyone
No.
else on the ticket. Only because Pete is going to tap into a large white allegiance that's going to say, even though he's gay, I'm going to vote for him because he's a white man.
I'm about to. I don't think the gays can get that much done. If they can, I have a
Anything.
freshman. I feel like they will take over. If they
I
can get
think as
that
long
done,
as he doesn't show off his husband and he just shows those little baby twins they adopted, he'll be fine. I think if you keep reminding people that you're gay, that's going to be a problem
Make
for
black men vote
white
for him.
but
voters.
isn't that what every openly gay figurehead politician or celebrity does? They make sure they bring in the fact that they're gay. Then they never address
No,
what.
but Pete has been smart enough not to do that. He did that at the beginning when he was trying to run for president, and then once he saw that he had no chance of winning, he put his husband to the side and stood straight in his lane and said, "I would really like to help the Joe Biden campaign." He saw which way the winds were blowing early, so
Hmm.
I
Yep.
think he's got the opportunity to be a strong contender.
The nigga from a state of well, a city of less than 100,000 became transport secretary. He don't know anything about no fucking transportation.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. A nigga from a city that small made it to transportation secretary. If you're telling me he can't jump from transportation secretary to president, I think you're foolish. The real thing here is
When no gay man be president of America in our lifetime.
a gay man will be president of America in our lifetime because people said the same shit about a black man, and it just took the right black man with the right story. Again, if Obama didn't have those cute little girls and that wife that was strong and resilient but very silent at the beginning, he would have
Well,
lost.
it will have to be the least gayest gay man to win.
That's what I'm saying. Buttigieg is the least gayest white gay politician that we have. There's no other white gay politician that is as clean cut.
The gay thing hurts, but it's his policies upon black people that we can go look at in
But
Indiana.
America doesn't give a fuck about their policies against black people. You got to take
Yeah,
that
but
completely out.
Democrats can't win elections without black people.
No. Democrats, until recently, haven't been able to win elections without black people. Things are changing.
Never. They never win an election without
Buttigieg,
black people.
Buttigieg polls well with Hispanics, and we know which way America's going because black niggas have too many goddamn abortions. We've talked about this ad nauseum.
Well, he would have to win within the next 8 years, and it ain't happening. I just don't see it.
I think Biden is going to go for another election. Either he wins or he loses, depending on how well Trump polls. Then Kamala's going to take a failed attempt. That is Buttigieg's opportunity to cut her off at the knees and get in at the number one spot. Now, I think if I was him, I would get a very strong, very straight, very Hispanic vice president, male as well. Can't be a woman. That'll be a winning ticket.
He wouldn't win.
That'll be a winning ticket
No,
because
no.
DeSantis is only going to run in the next 4 years if he runs at all. If DeSantis loses to Biden, Buttigieg has an easy throw in because people who lose at a given political race, generally speaking, can't come back and win. There's only been one exception or two exceptions to that rule, and they're exceptions for a reason. Yeah, basically, Joe Biden is one, and the other one
John,
is who?
John McCain became president, but yeah,
Yeah. Generally speaking, people don't win when they go for a re-election. But I mean, you could be right, but we'll see. But I think that is the play for Buttigieg, which is be transportation secretary, and just see if Biden wins. If Biden can win again, then you don't need to do anything because it'll be very easy for you to beat his assumed successor because Kamala's got nothing on you. And it's the easiest time for him because he doesn't have any rivals, and Republicans really only have two potential options. They've got Trump or they've got DeSantis. Those are the only two names that anyone in any household knows.
they smart. They'll put that black dude up there from North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever that nigga
No,
name is.
they're not going to put goddamn Herschel Walker up there. He's a losing ticket.
Herschel Walker, nigga, the nigga that's already in the Senate.
They're not going to put that guy up there either because they're afraid he's going to do something black. Remember, they like black people, but not that much. Can you imagine what happens if they put that black man in that side and he has a midlife crisis, realize that Negroes are going to remember him as a piece of shit, and he starts doing affirmative action, and it comes from a Republican?
I think we got a better chance of it happening with Republicans than we do with Democrats. And that's just a
Oh, no,
fact.
no, no. That's what I'm saying. They would never put a black person in there because if his programming falls off and that nigga stops spitting down the party line, a Republican would find a way to get affirmative action passed, and he would make a generation of Republicans. Nigga, we'd all be flying them goddamn elephants, talking about, hey man, my president is black, my affirmative actions are red.
Niggas, y'all do your research. A lot of our most elected leaders were Republicans, but hey, I ain't telling y'all nothing y'all ain't even looked up before.
Correct, man. Like normal, y'all niggas don't read, and that's kind of what becomes of it. But we can leave this spicy talk, which I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of comments on how Riker is mean to Kamala, which I'm not, just spitting facts.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
A whipping and ass whooping are two different things, but to white people they the same
No,
thing.
beating. You mean a beating? Whooping and a beating.
Beating, yeah.
Yeah, like most me,
Black
I
parents be
know.
beating their kids. Black parents be beating their kids. I don't believe in any kind of capital punishment, but as somebody who watches boys, you got to beat a boy ass, not necessarily no girl,
Yeah,
but boys
Yeah,
are different. I'm just
you
sorry,
pop them. You just pop them.
that
You
popping
ain't
shit
gotta.
get old, bro.
I mean, when they get to a certain
yeah.
age, a pop just can turn to a
I
you
mean, when you
just.
get to when you get to a certain
Thank
age, like that's not going to be a thing. But no, I think corporal punishment is something that you have to have with children. I mean, you see it with all these kids these days who just basically like, yeah, man, I'm just going to do gang shit. It's like if y'all had beat that kid, he would understand that there is a large consequence for any action that this child takes, because
I
that's
did
real
kind of
not.
the
talk.
problem that we have.
I did not do shit.
As somebody who suffered whippings and ass beating around 12, I knew it was coming, and I still did it again because I didn't care about the ass beating because I knew that pain would be temporary.
Yeah, but the difference here is that you knew there'd be consequences. Today's kids don't even know that there'd be consequences. You got people up here who just never just.
No,
I put him in timeout. It's like, bro, timeout doesn't do a goddamn thing. Timeout is the real punishment. That's like what you're saying, Reed. Timeout is something that you're like, oh no, my mom took my phone away, but I know where it is in the closet that she hides shit. So I'm gonna go find. Like kids ain't never gonna be able to access my room. My room is gonna be one of those things where it's not necessarily like Fort Knox, but I'm sorry, you only need to come in here if you are allowed in here. You don't just get to just peruse into my room looking for your shit. If I lock something up, it's going inside of a gun safe, which is inside of a locked door. And if you kick that shit down, bro, I'm kicking your ass. Period. Point blank.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think my parents' room was like that. We didn't go in there without asking for the most part. I remember one
yeah,
time I
I
busted my
ain't
parents' room, and that was one of the worst decisions of my life.
And your ass earned that shit.
I was up like on a Saturday night, and I stepped on a pencil for some reason, and that bitch went through my foot. I was like, "Ow." But I didn't scream. I was like, shit, I need to go to a doctor. And what I
Yeah, you
saw,
should
I
have beat
never
on that
forget.
door. Exactly. You never will.
Nigga, it
But
was a pencil in my foot. I didn't think.
again, you have one of the only reasons why it was acceptable what you did. But at the
Yeah,
same time, you paid a penalty
we
for what you
we've never
did.
talked about it either. Never talked about it. Never talked about it. I don't think there's anything
Never
to talk
talked
about.
about it at all. But it's hey man, it's completely okay. But I'm gonna wrap this segment up and go into the next thing, which is what was your favorite album of 2021?
Excellent cream.
What was the name of the album?
Look, you asking a lot of questions, nigga. Not
I thought you was
like,
a
Oh look,
Baby
man, I'm gonna
Keem
ask these
guy.
open Winfrey ass
huh?
questions.
I thought you
What'd you
like
say?
Baby Keem album the most.
No, I went back to listen to it. It was the first listen was straight and it was entertaining, and then I went back and was like, this shit's boring.
Told you it was trash.
Yeah, like the
I
first
don't like the
listen,
way
it
that
was.
nigga rap.
So Green or
eh,
Knots? You like Green or Knots?
You know what? It wasn't even that. It was just the fact that like,
Or sorry, Weight of the World. That's the Maxo Cream album. Weight of the World.
yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll get top three because I don't have like one that just stands out. But
Okay.
Maxo, Summer Walker's I actually revisit. I ain't gonna lie because it's legitimate R&B and I need it. Because and you can't trap all day every day. It just gets old. You know, just nigga can't trap. And I think everybody gonna say J Cole. I'm not gonna say J Cole. That's an obvious standout. Like in some albums you don't even need to mention because they were just good. Like Doja Cat
True
was my
indeed.
surprise album. That was a surprise one because I was like I didn't expect to actually like anything about her. And to be honest with y'all, I don't give a fuck what she said and the racist shit because I'm seeing all the shit they letting all these bitches get away with. And y'all can't
Well,
just
no, no,
pick
no.
and choose.
You're allowed to be an independent thinker.
Yeah. Well, no, it ain't
Yeah,
just that. I'm
like
like I'm hearing
how
worse.
Tory
I'm
Lanez
hearing
is
worse.
innocent, as I told y'all
He
niggas he
is.
was.
He is. I'm gonna stick with you. I'm gonna apologize to that nigga. You
I
still a
told
corny
you that
nigga,
nigga was
but you know
innocent.
what? Meg is more corny than you. I think that her friend shot her.
Yeah, you don't got to think. It's kind of out there.
It's kind of
Yes,
pretty much, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah,
Tory
I
Lanez is
apologize.
innocent,
I still want your ass deported for being a lame ass nigga, but you ain't shoot that bitch.
and the fact that
Fuck you.
nobody in
Plus,
Hey,
the
you
industry
fuck
need
is
you,
some
man.
gonna,
help.
she's gonna suffer no consequences. Shows you what they really think of black
Not
men.
at all. And then they gonna give her the ultimate brand push and make her like out to be this just fucking harlot. Like she not harlot.
Well, she is a harlot.
the bad girl that just needs to express herself.
Nah,
Well, look,
you
man, she is in a position that
you know you know.
that other chick, Cardi B, she's in
Rihanna?
Cardi
Oh,
B's position,
Nah, it's different.
and
There was no criminal charges.
no,
yeah, I
no,
know,
I'm
right?
saying she's in Cardi B's position as far as music. She's the new
She
it
kind of fell
girl,
off.
Speaking of which, you
and
know what? We gotta give Rihanna props too, because she dropped that one bitch soon as she dropped her from Fenty soon as she said some sideways shit. That Jixie looking bitch, Ari.
Ari, whatever her name
Ari
was.
Fletcher.
Yeah, Ari
Ari
Fletcher.
Fletcher,
Yeah,
yeah.
she got dropped soon as she said that stupid shit. She was like, "I want to do." She basically went on fucking live, and I guess she said some shit about, "I want to do that, love me to the point where he'll hit me, pull a gun out on me, and some shit like that." Like she said some stupid shit like that. Like I want to know that he loved me, the fact that he'll beat the fuck out of me or kill me.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
the girls got in her comments saying, "What the fuck?" They shared their stories, but also you fetishizing fucking domestic violence and shit like that. You sound like a dumbass. She went on her fucking live again. It was like, y'all bitches, I don't want to hear your stories. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like, and not realizing you signed to one of the most popular domestic violence cases ever. Like, dumbass. I'm happy they dropped her. I'm tired of these dumb bitches again. That's why I said I don't even get mad at Doja Cat for what she said. At least she put out good fucking music and she ain't got bitches locked up in the basement nowhere.
Damn, nigga, you sound very coolish right now.
God damn. God damn, Reed. What the fuck?
Shit, man.
You still hit. You still hit.
Shit.
You hit.
I mean,
Admit it. Admit it.
cool. No, I don't really like her. I don't even think she's attractive.
Doja?
Yeah, I don't think she's
Damn.
attractive at all.
Who you like? Azalea Banks or something?
Who's that? Who the hell is that?
You don't like
Man,
you start you went to the Azalea Banks cup of tea? Bitches with no eyebrows and no booty?
music last year, I would just tell you overall, I was disappointed due to the
It
fact
wasn't
all
very
you
good.
niggas was locked up for a pandemic, and y'all came out with no classics. I know y'all
None.
thinking J. Cole album is a classic, but can you honestly say that's J. Cole top 3 album?
It wasn't a classic. It was just a good album. And
No, I didn't really have nothing I really loved. I like J. Cole's. Even all these re-releases of Juice World's music, there was
no,
nothing
I don't like
crazy.
that. I
Oh,
don't
they're
like
gonna
that.
keep riding Juice World's poor little corpse out as far as they can.
His mom was out of line with that shit, talking about people stealing his music and shit. Like, if you really care about his music, you wouldn't care about how it got out there. You just want to get out there. She took the money. I think it was his
The
music being
fire,
on
burn, burn,
SoundCloud.
burn, burn.
It was being on
True.
SoundCloud. That's what it was. Like, think about her and think about Triple X Tentacion's mom. But she ain't come out here on no shit like that. She just wanted people to hear that nigga's music.
Yeah, she just wants them to hear everything that he has left to record.
Yeah,
That's gonna be in a suitable place. She's not trying to give y'all every single demo tape that y'all want.
right. Like, Juice WRLD mom literally only care about the money.
Bro,
Very much so.
I sat down and watched that Juice World documentary, and the amount of drugs he was doing, and everybody else around him was doing drugs. They let this nigga kill himself, and I know how
Facts.
he died wasn't related to it, but if y'all watch that documentary, man, it's kind of sad as fuck.
The way he
Like it's
died was
really
related. You said it
sad.
wasn't related
No,
to it?
no, 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 no.
No, no,
He's saying that the people around him were putting him in a position to where he would think that he was going to be able to take all those drugs to hide them would be a smart idea because of how many
Uh,
drugs they were doing in a given
yeah,
time. Like
well,
everyone around
bro.
him
You
was
watch
being a
that
yes
shit, he
man.
always popping perks or doing some shit. I'm like, what
let's.
the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
I want
Like
to
when that
shout out.
nigga says he was on drugs, that nigga was an addict, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it
he was
was
usually,
sad. No,
and
no, 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 no. Watch that documentary on HBO Max, bro. It is so fucking sad. Like it is like nigga, I was like, what the fuck,
I
bro?
give props to Trippie Redd too though after that incident because he literally like stopped pushing, perpetuating it, and taking it. Like he even has a regular skin tone color now. He came out and said like that shit ain't cool no more, no more lean, no more pills, and nothing. That's fucked up. After he died, and he stuck to it.
True,
Bro,
unlike most people.
it was
Yeah,
so sad watching that shit, bro. I was like, they just watching this nigga kill himself. Either it's gonna be one way or the other. But he making music and we get to spend money. But it was
right.
so
No,
sad.
that's literally it. That's how they do it, man. They're like,
But
hey, man,
not
he's
nobody.
making nobody what?
Oh, you were just saying it. I was saying nobody's realizing that he's the breadwinner. Like, why are you letting the money kill itself? He
It
dies, the
was,
money stops.
yeah, and it was well, the money ain't stopped because Juice WRLD got some avid fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Hey,
crazy.
Anyway, getting back to music. So you
what
gave
about yours?
two? No, you gave all three.
Yeah. I gave my Reed was getting his.
Nah, I ain't have
Huh.
anything.
He said
Like
everybody
from
trash.
Donda to
Except for
yeah, everybody was not no classics. If there was a classic and it was
there.
underground, that probably exists, but overall, I
Is
don't have
that
anything.
your barometer though? Are you only looking for classics, not just something that you will revisit?
After the pandemic and they all these niggas sit by themselves in studios and shit, no parties and shit, we should have got a classic out of somebody.
But
Like,
you did. You got way too sexy.
Exactly. I'm too
all right,
sexy.
it was a
I'm
classic.
too sexy.
But I
You
haven't
got way
I'm
listened to
too
that
much.
too
song.
sexy.
I haven't listened to that song since I liked it.
I ain't gonna lie, it don't hit the same. Like
I
classic
listen to that
music.
song every time I go in the gym.
You know what? I take it
Every
back.
single time.
I take it back. I give it to Young Dolph because I went back and listened to all this shit. Yeah, after he passed, like it was like this nigga had bangers.
Dumb and Dumber 2 came out this year, right? Or was that last year?
Yeah,
Okay, it was this year.
it was this
Dumb and
year.
Number 2.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And he
fucking
released a
nigga. That
compilation.
boy,
It
he a
was
penguin. Yeah, that nigga cold, cold,
yeah.
cold. I love that fucking song.
And Key Glock, I give him his props. So those are honorable mentions.
I would never expect the classic from no nigga. I expect something
Mm,
I like to listen
a
to.
banger. I
I
mean,
expect.
I the song. Like he has some songs, not a whole album though.
Yeah. All right. So nothing from Reed. For me, I think my number one would be Conchi's Benbow Crescent. I thought that was really fun, really nice. It's just, that new wave, the new kids doing the stuff that they do. I like the fact that half of his songs are also named after stuff that I care about, like Usopp, Totoro, Zoro, Sanji, Nyx, Murray slash Kami, StockX, Buff, Double, all those things, just really nice to see someone who's Jamaican American. Well, I guess he's really just Jamaican. No, he's Jamaican American. He got a US passport. Jamaican American doing his thing and doing the new kind of rap as everyone say.
And
My
trash.
No, he makes enjoyable music. Is it the best possible shit I've ever heard? No. But he managed to throw in a line at the loving Jesus Christ in one of his songs that was done very well. And I was like, damn it, man, this kid knows how to fucking make songs and making music. And he doesn't do anything that's too long and gets, like super repetitive. For my old heads, Mick Jenkins' Elephant in the Room is probably the best album that came out this year. But that's like real rap as people would define it. So for a lot of people, it's not necessarily about making songs that you're going to vibe to, but putting into songs, the kind of content and character. I think Saba, who will release this year, did it the best in 2018, which is why my 2018 album of the year was Care For Me by Saba, because he did such a great job kind of putting the nigga aspect of it and the actual, music that you can listen to together into one sort of thing. So really excited for his new album that's coming out in February. But Elephant in the Room was really good. Easiest way to tell if you like this album is just listen to the first track, The Valley of the Shadow of Death. If you like it, you're going to like the rest of the album. If you don't, then it's not for you. And it's
Who,
okay. I mean,
who, who had the song of the year for did to you?
sorry, one more, and that would be I actually was going to go with Summer Walker slash J.
Oh, you got
Cole
three. My bad.
for my number three
All right.
because I think the big thing for this year is that I think J. Cole made a better mainstream album than anyone else. But at the same time, Summer Walker had a more relatable, I can play this multiple times album. Although, going back to what you were just asking me, my song of the year is Pride is the Devil because I literally can listen to that song as many times as someone will play it because it's just enjoyable, even with the way that the second verse goes, which I know is the first place you're going to take. You're like, you're going to really say Pride is the Devil? After all that shit that goes on in the second verse with Lil Baby, yes, I'm still going to
Tristan.
say Pride of the Devil is my song of 2021. It's an enjoyable track. It's got, lyrics that actually mean something, but at a cadence that's catchy enough for people to be able to enjoy. And I think so many people are kind of going on and off about, whether we can have enjoyable music or not. Like, I mean, I do love, Praise God by Kanye West. I think that's a really good banger. But I also enjoyed the other Donda song that was pretty darn good as well. But they're not something that I will listen to time and time again. It's something that I listen to once and maybe not hear it again for another week or two. And that song would be Hurricane because it just, it was nice to see it actually being released. Off Grid is really nice, but there's only so many times you can hear Kanye West say, we all agree.
Oh my
Nah.
God! No, don't do it. What's funny is I was just thinking it sucks that I'll never be able to say ever again that I like something by Kanye West that isn't a pair of shoes.
I don't necessarily say that because I think in whatever Donda 2 becomes, because anytime that Kanye said he's going to make a second version of any album, it never comes out. So that means he's probably closing off this aspect of who he is. We'll
Yeah,
have to
but this
see.
aspect, along with the last 3, 4 evolutions, all suck. They
I mean,
all
look, man,
suck.
The Life of
you don't
Pablo,
enjoy
that
them.
sucked.
I
Yeah,
No,
I
the Life of
enjoyed.
Pablo isn't a four. I'm talking about Kid See Ghost and what all that shit
I
that
don't
came
count
Look,
after.
man, I love Kid See Ghost.
And Yeezy or Ye, the Ye album,
I'll give you a.
and then there's
I
this
thought
these.
Jesus King was actually pretty good.
No,
The
Jesus
biggest.
no,
King is
I
good.
listened to it once and I was like, oh, the beats
And
are
Christian,
almost
so you
there.
wouldn't like it.
I mean, yeah, it's more of a Christian album, so I wouldn't expect you to like it.
Yeah,
It
I
lays
do
on
know
very
they
well.
don't know that's the thing though. I like Lecrae's Christian album when he was when him and
Well, no.
he did.
I think Lecrae's Christian album is trying to convert you. Kanye West's Christian album is just saying, I'm a Christian now. Again, for real.
Yeah, but then he go on TV. That's the thing that kills me. You won't cuss in the music, but you'll fucking cuss and say all the most wildest shit in the fucking
because
interviews.
Christian still
You're
curse.
right. You're right. You're right. You are
That, ma-
100% right. No, no,
that
no, no.
makes no
I get
sense.
no. His point is legitimate. If you're gonna say no profanity, because like several of the songs on Donda would have been way better with profanity allowed. You've got a point is how you gonna say no profanity in your music, but you're gonna curse in interviews knowing millions of people are gonna see
Well,
this shit.
it ain't.
When you watch an interview, hold on, wait. When you watch an interview, how many times do you gonna watch an interview?
I mean, that's pretty
Uh,
much all
I
they
watched
use on
Kanye West
YouTube.
interview like twice, but you
Okay.
got a point. You got a point. How many
How
times are
many
you
songs?
actually gonna watch it?
Yeah, how many songs? What
Well, no,
song?
it ain't the fact of that. I'm talking about everything that he went on to talk on, like or he speaks on. Granted, that Drink Champs was a unique experience, but he goes and he talks all the shit he said he ain't gonna put in the music, the sacrilegious stuff and all that. He talks that. That's the only reason I said that's bullshit because you
This
keep
is
pushing
not
it.
a fucking apostle. He's still a human
I'm
being.
not saying you,
Don't
No,
but
no,
he
no, no. He's
is.
not
But
saying
he's
he's not
saying it.
allowed to stray. What he's saying
Yeah.
is it's cognitive dissonance when you say you're only making Christian music, you're only putting out Christian music, but then you go on an interview and you talk shit about Drake and all these other people and you
because
use
music affects
profanities.
you more than an interview. You're gonna
No,
listen to
I get
music.
all right, but no, in this age, day and era where we have access to these interviews on YouTube, people are watching the YouTube interviews as much as they're listening to the music.
That's
It's
not true.
streaming. It's streaming. You got to think about how often
I
we.
would slightly disagree with that,
All
but I think
right,
for
feel like this.
Kanye
Don't
West,
count.
what you're saying is right.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. For the Kanye West is
Nah.
for the people on that tier, when he does something, it didn't. You got to think about it. I'm not just talking about the views on YouTube. Think about the views that leak off to other sites and then all the social media clips and all that. People who are listening to that, they're fucking these retarded ass kids now. They're fucking soaking that shit up like he is a fucking messiah, and he's saying the shit. That's why I'm saying I ain't saying you can't do that. It's the fact that nigga, what you and we know it's Kanye West. He condescends. He does all that stupid shit. But this the fact that you're saying it here, but then you won't say it over here. But nigga, your words should represent what the fuck you're rapping because your rapping is your words.
Not what anybody does. So why would you expect that to him?
That's not
Nobody
true
lives like
because
that.
Lecrae, I'll use him again. He did the Christian album. That nigga
He's
was allowed to
not
cuss in the
famous enough
interviews.
to know if he has contradictions. Like
Okay,
Lecrae's not famous.
No, 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 no.
Drake.
Lecrae was talked about like that because a lot of people didn't like how Lecrae
No.
was in the studio making his music, and he was living lifestyle. People like, how can you say you're Christian but you don't, like sit here, like you're sitting here, you're living a good life. Like
Hey,
Lecrae got a
Reed.
lot of that in his early career because
Hey, Reed. It's just like how we said how Future gonna talk about all these drugs and shit in his music that he ain't doing.
That nigga does some drugs.
No, he does now. But remember before, when like it's like how you gonna perpetuate the fucking pills and syrup and lean and shit, but you don't even do that.
Rappers do. Kanye West
I
is still a
understand that.
rapper.
But Kanye West is trying to be he's stepping out of rapper realm. I'm not talking about the music. I'm saying when you go out and speak, you're saying all this outlandish wild shit and you're trying to motivate and what's the word? Inspire people. But the shit you're saying is not the same as the shit that you're saying. It's supposed to be the inspirational music. So it's convoluted. It's very fucking confusing to these retarded ass kids. These niggas don't know not to worship a real housewife. So when a person like Kanye West steps in, you think they're gonna be able to decipher the logic in it? They're not gonna be me, you, Riker, or anybody that can actually look at this and say this nigga's an idiot. That
Well,
nigga's the
bro,
God
one thing I
to
would
them.
tell you is that when niggas listen to rap, young niggas, they really believe these niggas did all the shit they talking about.
I
So
agree.
I think
But I
so with
also
that said, I think the music would matter more because it's more repetitive than than the interview, and we kind of just close it there. I understand what you're saying about the nigga, but I don't expect much from the. That is
I
the
don't
most
expect
Christian version
anything.
of Kanye West I've ever seen.
I don't
I'm telling
expect
Well,
you.
no,
anything.
no. I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point on both sides to end that out. I'm going to skip this week in music because I don't want to make this too long because we already got two controversial topics that are going to come out. So first and foremost, Fresh and Fit had Asian Doll on their podcast. Now I will admit she was rude, and that did trigger Myron. So 1 point for Myron and Fresh and Fit. But we need to take it a step back and look at it from his point of view. In fact, no, forget that. Don't women all the time complain that men don't listen or hear them when they have something to say? So didn't she do the same thing to Fresh and Fit that women are always complaining that men do to them? So 2 points for Fresh and Fit. But either way it goes, she was rude, but he got a little too offended. So 1 to Asian Doll because as a man, don't argue with women. So 1 for Asian Doll, 2 for
Oh,
Fresh and Fit.
sorry, I'm
But
talking too loud. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. You're fine. At the same time, y'all, and by y'all I mean collectively Black Internet, brought up a video of them saying that they don't date black women and using demeaning terms. I admit the video was offensive. They talked badly about black women. But so what? Like, y'all really gonna focus on some shit that they said before when y'all already didn't like Fresh and Fit to begin with? It's not like y'all went into it and be like, Fresh and Fit are eligible bachelors and ooh, any girl would be happy to have them. Like, y'all were
Them
super
lame ass niggas
disliking.
anyway.
Exactly.
Now
You
let's
you
talk
knew they
about
were
them lame
simps to begin with, so y'all didn't like them to begin with. So don't bring up a video of them saying they don't like black women. Anybody who knew anything could listen to them and be like, y'all don't. They weren't gonna like black women. I'm sorry, and this is gonna be the controversial part that I'm gonna say. A lot of black women are not cooperative.
Oh
Trying to
God,
get
what
them.
are you doing? What are you doing? You.
A lot of
What
black
is
women are
Reed?
not
What is
cooperative.
Reed going to say after you finish doing what you're doing?
say a lot.
I don't know what Reed's gonna say, but a lot of black women are not cooperative. They don't want to
Enough
be
of
submissive.
them are not cooperative. Enough of them are not submissive that it looks like the norm. Enough.
Oh my God, I was wondering where this was going to go. I was wondering,
Oh
and
no 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 no!
I thought I
The
had a
thing
lot
the
of
thing
faith.
here that is these guys worship the almighty dollar. So if you thought that they weren't gonna leave your ass for a white girl, you was fucking stupid. These niggas only apparently like women that will be tricking with them or tricking on them as they were shown. And y'all the same black people who was clowning these niggas for the fact that come to find out this one nigga was supporting the sugar baby who was using his ass and fucking 600 niggas, but y'all want to act like all of a sudden these are niggas whose opinions you respect. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I understand and I appreciate everyone who brought the topic to our attention. Shout out to you, ladies. I really appreciate the laser focus. But y'all don't give a shit about Fresh and Fit. So it doesn't
Hold
really
on.
matter what they have to say.
It is time for Reed the Apostle to start preaching. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring today to the congregation Fresh and Fit. And I also bring Asia Doll, or whatever this bitch name is. I don't know her name.
Asian
Right?
doll. She's not Asian though.
Asia
That.
Doll.
Oh my God, I'm gonna state my point. Go
This
ahead,
whole
Reed. Go ahead, preach,
conversation
preach,
diluted into a conversation about black women. If y'all want
Preach.
Asia Doll to be your representative, then them niggas is right. If Asia Doll is not your representative, then do not listen to them niggas. Because most y'all, I would pray, are not like this Asia Doll. I seen her. She got neck tattoos. I never trust a woman with neck
Not just
tattoos. It's
neck
just something I
tattoos,
don't.
man. If you've seen some
She
of the
bothers the care.
stuff that she does as far as how
She
she acts,
ratchet.
She
she is
calls
ratchet.
herself Asian doll, and she is a
She
chocolate
don't
brown
even like being
woman.
black.
She
She's dark
attacks
skinned.
black women, and she blames black people for her
And
being
she
black.
set up King Von.
Exactly. And she set up King Von. She is literally
I don't know if that's
and
true. I'm just
the
saying
But
and
though.
on top of
all
that,
right,
for
all
a
right,
lot of y'all supposed Christian black women, she's dating King Von's other baby mama. So y'all lesbian now? What part of the Bible is that?
all right. So I'm going. My point with her
Go
is
ahead.
what he
The
did
pop
do.
star.
What he did was it was ignorant. But like I was looking at a batch of niggas and somebody that's pretended to be a nigga because he ain't even black, right? What is he like Middle Eastern? Did you say that, Riker?
I thought
He
he was
said
a
he was Middle
terrorist.
Eastern, but yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a terrorist.
exactly. He's Middle Eastern. But the other one's
So,
Haitian. He doesn't
but
even have a
okay,
thing.
The terrorists and the hating.
there's a better way to do that. And as people who are on podcasts to stop folks from having side conversation. The way he did it was fucked up. He was trying to get a moment. She said that she was right on that. The nigga was trying to get a moment, but also it seems like he has
But
that
she
animosity
gave
towards
him a
black women.
moment by
She
acknowledging
did.
it.
Oh no, no, I'm not absolving her yet. Like, I mean, I'm not absolving her, not really. But I'm saying both parts played a part in it. He was feeling whatever kind of way because of how he felt. But you are the ones that invited the bitches on their. I said bitches, like I ain't even helping them. But you invited them on your damn podcast. You
Yeah, but he
invited them.
invited
You
her to
brought
show up
them
on
there.
time. Too
Look,
late.
but that it is. I mean, them on the breaks though. Who's the bigger platform at this point? Yeah, she's a ratchet, but she has more following than he does
No,
when it comes
no,
to
she
social
is
media.
not the bigger platform. And that was the next point that I was going to make. Everyone was talking about cancel Fresh and Fit, cancel Fresh and Fit. These niggas are up 3 million views because of y'all. These
Oh my!
niggas
I'm
made
not.
an extra $40,000 because y'all can't stop clicking on the goddamn video. They up
I mean,
10,000
they
They made
probably
her.
they probably made like 12,000. YouTube don't pay niggas shit.
No, no. YouTube does pay people stuff when you're in
You
the mix.
should be.
Remember, their social blade rank is 500 something. So they're in the top 1,000 YouTubers. So they more than likely make the standard ad rate of
So
$4. So $4 times 3,000 views, you're right, $12,000.
Niggas ain't
I
making that,
know.
yo.
I was doing it just to mess with you, but no, that's $12,000 more dollars than what they had coming in because they're already.
Nah, I seen a nigga with 1 million views make $1,200, and then he was looking at his
hey, did she
what's
deactivate her
that?
IG after that? Because I can't find her IG.
No, she deactivated her IG after
Why
everybody
do we
started shaming
always?
her for dating
Well,
King Von's other baby mama.
I'm looking for it because of I was gonna say like she at the moment of irrelevant, and I'm gonna say this the moment of most irrelevant fucking topics ever because this is nigga news. I was gonna say she has a bigger platform because she keeps saying stupid shit or doing stupid shit versus them. They have a major platform on YouTube. I was talking about on the social media side of just IG and shit, but I didn't know she removed herself. But anyway,
Why? Why do we always defend the Asia dolls? And it's
I'm
either
not
the
defending
Asia
her because
dolls or the slightly coon Camilla Harris.
that's what I was
Like
about
we
to get
don't.
at. That's what I was getting
Yeah,
at. Though.
where the
She was
regular
dating them.
bitches at?
She was purposefully being antagonizing too. Like she is both of them niggas was wrong what they was doing. It's just the fact that hey, you got to pick your side. You gonna pick the side of women need to stand in one place, or he needs to respect women, black women especially. Oh look, he said something in the past. That's all it is. It's two ignorant motherfuckers that got ignorant and now everybody divisive. But she
They
ignorant.
shock
Like
jock. I
they
mean,
are.
they're not really. Yeah, they shock jocks. They don't really have it. I don't even think they believe most of the shit they say because, like, we found contradiction of them in the past. Like fuck fresh and fit. Like, I remember they tried to fight them one dudes and then they got scared. Talking about we got guns. Like, y'all some bitch ass niggas. I knew y'all was bitch ass niggas a long time
And
ago.
then they
I don't
told
know.
people that they got guns. Like that was the problem. Is like, so you just really gonna sit up here and say you a bitch?
Nah, you saw them niggas run up in their studio. They got scared.
Well, no, no. When Mr. Organic ran up in their studio, he didn't really run up in their studio and do anything. He ran up in their studio just basically being like, "Hey, hey, shoot me, nigga." And it's like, I mean, nigga, you're not gonna have
Niggas shoot
stand.
first. What's you in Florida? What the hell are you talking about?
Nah, nah. Remember, we got a terrorist and a Haitian. All right, they don't get the white rules or the
I mean,
American rules
on
because
top
we
of
all
that,
know they not from here.
you want to talk about two coaches that really just do not respect women of any kind. They might perpetuate white and lighter skin because that's what they want, but them niggas don't come in the game trying to appreciate women.
I mean, women
Don't
have
let
their
it be.
place in their culture, and then to each his own. It seems like it worked out for them. There's a lot of rich people in the Middle East. I mean,
There's a
and
ton of rich people in the Middle East. As me and you were talking about it, that girl who getting flued out to Dubai. A lot of them girls getting flued out. They not just going with their friends. They going to suck some dicks.
I'm about to
That's
oh,
say,
they
wait till
how
options.
it
you
goes.
see. You don't want to see what they going to.
Would you let your girl
Exactly.
go suck a dick for $1 million?
Hell
No,
no,
what the fuck
nigga.
is wrong with you?
Y'all
I'll
some
make the
real ass
side chick.
niggas. All
You
them
make the
bitches. I
side
don't
chick
give
do
a fuck
that.
who that bitch is.
What you do is you get a side chick and you just make her do it.
Exactly.
Y'all split.
The side chick can do it, and then the married couple can split the
Side chick,
money.
technically your bitch. You know how we work out. It's your wife and your concubine.
Well, the concubine can go do that because the wife is never going to be subjected to such disgusting things. And also, RIP to those 19 dead in that Bronx apartment fire. I mean, I keep
That is
telling
a
niggas, move
crazy
the fuck out
transition.
of New York.
But yeah, that place was probably rent controlled. And now it's gonna be a luxury
Oh,
building.
it definitely was probably rent control. Like looking at this building, it just looked like a place that ain't seen no updates in 40 years. 40 years. But
New
I'm
York is
not trying to
terrible
make
place.
comedy out of this because
Well,
9
Fresh and
fucking
Fit,
children died.
fuck y'all niggas. Yeah, Fresh and Fit, fuck y'all niggas.
No,
Like
no,
the
it's not even fuck Fresh and Fit. It's like the only reason we even knew about this story is because everybody else around us was watching this stuff. Everyone kept making videos,
Putting up a collaboration.
like the people that they beef with, Abin Preach. Abin Preach made a video about the whole thing. They're like, Asian Doll's not right, but you knew who these niggas are, and that was the point. That was like, thank you. Like Abin Preach told y'all, you knew who these niggas are. Like you didn't go. Asia Doll didn't go on here because she doesn't need some additional clout. All right, she went on there because of the clout that these niggas are doing, and because she wanted to be able to promote her brand or her song or anything else. Because that's
I
why
don't
women
even know
go
what
on
she
Fresh and
does at
Fit.
this point. Ain't she an unsuccessful stripper rapper?
Yeah, she's an unsuccessful stripper rapper. She's Summer Walker, but minus the walk. She has a
And
lot
man,
not going for her.
and for the sake of, continuity, no, we ain't bashing her because she's a woman or a black woman like that. That woman has her history of coming at women. She made, especially when she was talking about how only light skinned women were the ones making fun of her because she was dark skinned and said shit and she was talking to women. She talks down to women more than the men y'all accuse of talking down to women. It's just the fact that we got these two fuck niggas that was talking down to her and then it became, like you said,
Remember when
like,
she made the tweet 23 hours ago talking about Antonio Brown, and then she had a backpedal saying there was clearly a joke? Yeah,
yeah.
y'all choose the worst people to be like, he should have talked to Asian Doll like that. No, Asian Doll knew how these niggas talk and still decided to go onto this goddamn podcast. So Asian Doll is an adult. Let her defend herself.
But
Stop
but
standing in the
also
gap for the
also
worst of us.
that nigga knew he had invited Asian doll to the podcast. I don't know what
I
you
mean,
was
yeah, but
expecting.
Asian Doll is ratchet. But again, they've had a lot of ratchets on the podcast. I mean, they're not no jumper where they've had ratchets who actually take their clothes off, but they're not exactly too many steps away from that because a lot of their little simps would pay for that and would pay for that privilege.
I think everybody involved was just a bunch of suck ass people. That's about it.
I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong, bro. I am not
All right,
saying that you're wrong.
it was just
It's
a
one of those
topic.
things where it's just like
Go
Asia
ahead.
Doll is very active on Twitter, and that's like her main platform right now. But
Mhm.
she's always making excuses for some fuck shit that came out of her mouth, and y'all acting like she was just being whatever because y'all completely forgot about when in 2021 she wanted to make some controversial statements about Indian food about it being nasty, and all of a sudden y'all was completely distant from her because y'all didn't want to piss off India, that's a billion niggas over there. Go ahead, go to war with them if you want. Go ahead, go to war with India if you want. Because
know, Indian food to be bad Jamaican food. I don't know. To each his own. I don't know. So they always say like bad Jamaican food to me. Although someone told me there's an Indian spot he likes to go to that's about an hour away, and I'm always curious like what's so good about this food. So hey,
I don't really
um,
well,
fuck
no,
with
I mean
Indian
it's
food.
just she made the same kind of comments about the Indian food that Fresh and Fit made about black women. She, to quote her tweet from February 21, since we all jumping back in the past, because y'all started this. Remember, y'all started this. She said, "I'm at this Indian restaurant. What should I order? Everything looks nasty," insulting all their culture, basically shitting on Indian food. But at the
my
same time, y'all mad because Fresh
nasty.
and Fit shitted on black women. Like again, I'm just saying, the same way we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, cognitive dissonance. You can't be like, this is my Shiro, but then be like, it doesn't matter what she said in the past. If it mattered what Fresh and Fit said, it matters all the dumbass times that Asian doll or Asian Debrat, because you're not, fuck it. Black girl who wants to be Asian, because you're not Asian. That is a strong culture that you're not part of and never will be.
Once
She
again,
always says
this
dumb
is
shit.
black women defending the monolith, and we're done with the monolith over here with black men because
Right, because Tory Lanez,
it's
hey,
not
shoot
true.
that bitch. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I just bringing
I
that
mean,
back
you're
up
not
since we
wrong.
talking about them. Yeah, but we're talking about them bitches. I'm with the
I mean, remember, she also endorsed Trump in 2020, but black women forget so quick. They forget so quick.
Right.
They forget so quick
We
what their
endorsed
Shiro was
Trump
doing.
in 20. We endorsed
Yeah,
Trump in
so
2020. We endorsed
this
his
is a
ass to go home.
I'm not gonna lie, but also when we get on these topics, this is why I'm all for our idea for the visuals when we start the visual. All right, I'm trying to succeed in this life,
Oh
man.
yeah, niggas. The visuals are coming soon, but the Patreon only, and there's gonna be an
Yeah,
interesting twist on it. We haven't really worked out the details. We'll shoot for April, maybe. I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, I think April May makes sense. That gives us enough leeway and enough time.
Justin LeBoy is not a point of reference or anybody you should take advice from. Women. Women
Woo.
only. Women.
Yes, he will keep you single and dine it up until you get to your 50s, and you realize you do not have enough money for retirement, so you got to marry your girlfriend.
Anybody that can get beat up single handedly by Quavo is not somebody you should pay attention to.
Correct, correct. And
Everything is beat up.
last but not least, there's
I'm
an
going to
artist.
perpetuate the rumor, Ari. You shut the hell up.
Like, everything get
Exactly.
beat up. That's just
No, no,
sad.
no, 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 no. But that was beaten up because he opened his goddamn mouth.
It
But
was the fact that it was more so Quavo. Like, if you lose a fight to Quavo, I just question everything about you, man or woman or child.
correct. I mean, Sweetie lost.
I just had to stop
Hey,
Ari
shit.
from saying something positive about Quavo. And he didn't realize it, but you was about to say something positive about him. And I can't let you do that. I love and respect you too much for that.
I, I won't say anything positive about the Migos.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh shit! What was funny is that sorry to take it back, but Asian Doll is accused of cultural appropriation because she basically stole an Indian dress after saying she doesn't eat Indian food in the same goddamn year.
It just don't stop.
You
Stupid,
can't make this shit up. You can't make
stupid,
this shit
stupid
up,
don't
bro.
stop, man.
Stupid don't stop, man. It's always going. But we appreciate everybody listening to another episode of Everyday Black Men Podcast, a podcast for authentic black male thoughts. I've been Riker. He's been R. Reed, and Armstead had to leave, but we still had DJ All Might. You can follow us on Twitter at EVYD Black Men, Instagram Everyday Black Men, the Everyday Black Men Facebook page. Of course, our Patreon is EBMP, where we'll have the facial reveals. R. Reed's got dick pics. We've got a bunch of episodes you've never heard. We've got an extended episode that's up there that you really should listen to because we go in on music in a way that we really didn't get a chance to because today's podcast, we spent some time reflecting on its other podcasts that we're calling but let me get a point, but let me get a line, but let me say, but let me read this.
Read Deuteronomy.
Oh my god.
Deuteronomy.
I was trying to tell them, like, yo, y'all might be right, but the way y'all teach, like, y'all just spewing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not
Well,
how
that's the
people
thing
learn.
about it is like you can teach people, but you gotta work on the approach, and
Right,
we'll
the
just see.
delivery.
We'll just see how the delivery goes, and it's probably the podcast where we had the zero profanity. I think
Shit.
that podcast is for the
I,
kids, so I'll be
I
able to mark
think,
that podcast as not being explicit.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't think I said one fucking curse word.
Not a fucking curse word. But last but not least, before we get out of here, man, there's a guy by the name of Lost Soul. He just put out a track called Carrying That Weight. I'm going to link that below. Definitely give him a shout out, man. He's been a long time listener, long time fan. And he's really been up in his rap game. But anyway, peace.
Adios, amigos. Cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation.
Hey, the Migos might be cultural appropriation if you think about it.